Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. And it's Monday, it's March 5th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And another big rally. After a couple of days selling off, you figure we'd get a rally. Same kind of MO. We kind of start out the day going sideways and then we rally. What's happened lately, though, is we'd rally up and then sell off and then we'd have a big sell off. Didn't happen today. We just continued going higher. We had a real steep two-tiered channel here that is really too steep, and then we flattened out, and this is really a little bit flatter than you like to see, but it's still a really nice trend. So really nice trading day. We really could look at this like this was the trend up. We got the break here, and then we had a leg up, and then a correction, and another leg up, and if you measure those, they're probably close. We'll just say from there to there. And then from here to there, you can see we went a little higher than that. If you actually measure from here to here, but we really got our break back down here, so it doesn't really fit there. But even then, we went much higher, and then we corrected after that. So you could still call this a break of this channel and two legs up. When I say this channel, I'm talking about the smaller one. But I really think we just started going flatter. This is too steep. It's much steeper than 45 degrees, and even though this one's a little flatter than 45. But nice uptrend day, and even in here there were quite a few trades we'll talk about. Before we go to the trades, I'm just going to share something with you. Somebody sent me an email, and I thought I would share this email with you. People like to hear success stories, and so I'm going to read this. Hadn't read one lately, so we'll go through this. It says, hey Mac, I will try to keep this shorter today. Wanted to give you a shout out because I hit a significant milestone today in my trading. This week was the first week that I can remember in how long that I was able to trade profitably every single day of the week. I am totally pumped. I've had really good weeks and bad weeks and good and bad months. However, I don't think I've ever had a week that every day I hit a profit and also had so many winning trades. I didn't take just one or two trades a day either. I traded the heck out of this week. I probably averaged 5 to 10 trades a day. So to be averaging that many trades and ending with a profit every day, he's doing something right. I'll throw that in there. Continues, I have to thank you for your help in your process. I'm learning more and more every single day I trade, and I'm starting to see things way before they developed, and that has much to do with your educational help. And this is the part that's important. I want people to hear this part. So make sure you hear this if you don't hear anything else. He says, it's hard to explain, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've always been able to see where the market is heading in a general type of way. You know, the main support and resistance area, and know that price action is heading there at some point. But now I can start to see price action develop before it fully takes shape. I'm sure you do this as well. I'll be talking to myself as the market's doing what it does and say, okay, if it gets slow here and then trades down, it will pop here and then give me my second entry here. It's really cool. I had that happen at least 3 or 4 times today. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I'd get a second entry trade at a certain spot even before it got there. So I want to stop right there for just a second and say that's what you want to get to. That's it exactly. And until you get that and understand it, people never, you can talk about it, and some of you probably it sounds like gibberish. But once you get there, you'll understand it. I've said it many times is that you won't really understand this until you truly get it. You'll think you know it multiple times, and you'll jump out there and throw your money on the line when you're not really ready, and you'll fail. But when you really and truly get it, you will know it. So and that's where he's at now. So I tend to agree with what his thinking here. So I'll continue. I'm also starting to see areas where I know I trade well. That is primarily because I'm starting to get good at certain places in the price action where I feel very confident that the price is going to do what I think it's going to do and not what I want it to do. And that's another important point. A lot of times we'll think we know what the market's going to do and we'll want it to do that, but it'll do something totally separate because we're not reading it properly. If you're reading the price action really well and you're comfortable and you're relaxed and you're feeling it, it's an incredible feeling. And so I understand exactly why he's so excited here. I'm seeing second entries all over the place. That has helped me more than anything yet. I still miss them because sometimes they set up and blow through my entry point before I can even click my mouse. You'll see that more now lately with all the volatility, but you probably won't see that as much once the volatility gets back to normal. So, but you'll miss some trades lately because they do price action does it just takes off really fast. But I'll continue. But the big thing is I recognize everything. I see why a certain trade didn't do too well, and why I blow a trade out of the park. I'm not saying I'm awesome or anything, but it's really beginning to click for me. Thanks so much. I know where my weaknesses are, and I do my best to be disciplined, not to repeat old mistakes, and I know where I still need work. And that's the key, and I try to explain that to people. Uh, people want me to show my trades and talk about my trades, but my tendencies will not help you in any way. The key is to is for somebody to show you where the trades are, and then let you compare your chart, and then study your tendencies, because that's what makes you better, to figure out where your tendencies take you and to correct them. And my tendencies won't help you in any way. And so the idea is for you to take the trades every day on a sim trader, and don't worry about being wrong or right. Just take the trades, and at the end of the day, that's where the real work starts. And that's where most people, they'll come in here and trade all day, and then they'll walk away either happy or sad, depending on how their day turned out. They don't even study their chart. And that's one reason I do this chart lesson, because it forces me to go back and look at the chart and find every trade on it. Do I see them all? No. I'm never claimed that I see every trade. I don't. I miss some of them. Some of them I sit there and talk myself out of or into, and I'm wrong occasionally. So nobody's perfect, and that's why I study this chart every day, because it forces me to go back and find the trades and put them on the chart personally. I'm doing that part for you, so I'm helping you with that part. So all you have to do is you simply have to take what I've given you, compare it to your chart, figure out the trades you missed, figure out why you missed them if you were here trading and didn't see it, study it until you see it, and then study your trades and figure out where you went wrong, because that's your tendencies, and that's what you got to work on to improve your tendencies. And you will have bad tendencies, and every one of you know what yours are. Not putting your stop in, or moving your stop, or entering it, chasing trades, and all the things that traders do wrong. So you have to study your own trading and your own tendencies to learn that. So I didn't mean to show that whole. Oh, actually, you couldn't see that. I thought I showed his name there. I usually don't share people's names. I didn't ask him if I could share this, so I'm not going to share his name or anything. I'm sure he doesn't mind me reading it to you. But this trader's having success, and so congratulations to him. I can tell by the way he's worded some of this that he's getting it. He's truly getting it. He's not just one of these days where you had a really good day and you think, hey, I've got it now, because that's what usually happens to people. They have one of these good days and they think, oh, I got it now, I got it now. But they don't really have it now. And then they go out and trade and they lose live and they lose more money. And then they get discouraged, and it just leads to more losing trades, and nothing good comes from it. So anyway, congratulations to this trader. Thanks for sharing your email, and hope you didn't mind me sharing it with the rest of the group, because I think it's important to hear that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, let's go back to the chart. Let's talk about the trades. And like I said, this was a really good day. These are really straightforward trades. This was a clear, easy to find trend, easy to find channel for that matter, and lots of second entries in here all the way up. This was just a good trading day. Even if you didn't, if this is where you struggle, just stay out of this. Just be patient. You had to sit on it till 9:15, 9:20, and then look what happened after that. All you needed was one of these, and several of these had runners. And so all you needed was maybe one of these trades with a runner, and you'd had a really good day. So you got to learn to be patient and disciplined in this business. That's one of the keys to it, no doubt. So I'm going to back out a little further just to make it easier to see. go from there. Okay, when I came in, prices had traded up, and this trend had played out. I don't have it on here, but it played out, and prices were just simply trading down. So there's a trend working up through here, and you can see that, and we got a little close outside, 2 legs up, and it reversed. And if you take this and copy it and you put it on the other side, you see it fits real nicely on the other side. So that's a nice trend working up, real tight. Close outside, 2 legs up to a new high, and then it reversed. And guess what? We get 2 legs down here. You get a close outside. So this is a failed second entry long. Technically, you probably would have got a scalp out of it, but it's still the same thing. And it's actually a double top as well. And notice how everything's still below the EMA for the most part. I like going short there. There's a lower high here that actually went higher and turns down, but it's right into that support. And you don't want to go short there, even though it worked. Next time it may not. Look right here. It looks similar right here. Look how, if you went short there, guess what? You'd got burned. And that's why we don't go short there, because most of the time it won't do what it just did right there. In the end, this turns out to be the first leg, a correction, and then the second leg. And if you measure that, you'll see it. First leg, second leg. And I mean, that's a perfect 2 legs down, and then it just kind of started going sideways. Everything's still between the overnight high and low here, so this is this point, this is really looking like a range day. But anyway, you get your close outside here, move down, and then look what happens. You get a new low, first entry, and then a second entry short. Of course, you don't want to go short right there, way away from the EMA, right into a double bottom, and guess what? It fails. And so I like taking that to the upside, because you're looking for prices to reverse here, most likely. And so you might have had your trend line drawn up here, and if you did, that probably scared you out of that. But it turns out that this is your move down, your close, and then a new low. And either way, it's still a failed second entry short with plenty of room back to the EMA, so that's why I like that one. And this turns out you probably catch a runner here, and you can ride this one on up. You wouldn't have got a huge runner, but you still could have had one there. And then we're moving up. You're moving down. Notice the new low. This is a double bottom, so this is a new low. And then you're moving up. First entry short, second entry short. It fails, and it's also a second entry long. It's kind of a neutral bar. It's a little bit more bullish than neutral, but we don't care because it's a failed second entry short. And notice how it is a double test of that line right there that was resistance. Now it's acting as support. And then that low is lower than that one. So you got a new low, first entry, second entry. So you got another failed second entry short there that bounces right off the trend line. And it's obvious that trend line's in play. And this is your next resistance area. So you got plenty of room right there. I like that one. Moves on up. And there's actually another little pullback right there, but there's not a whole lot of room in there. And you got to be real careful getting long into that resistance right there, especially on the first entry. So, and of course you get a new high here. You had what looks like a close outside. It's not very convincing, but you definitely get one here. It tries to go higher multiple times, 3 times, and notice that's a new high. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry, and that's a big bearish bar. There's a lot of overlap right there. The bar's really big. It's you know, you got to go short right into some lows here. So I'm not crazy about that one. I marked it because it does. If you want to be real aggressive, you might take that one, but you're better off to wait on this one. You get your lower high, big bearish bar. You got enough room to get out, and so that's the better one. And of course, it bounces there again. It's kind of tempting to go long right there, but it is a second entry. Technically, it's really not a second entry, but you could treat that like a, you know, there's 2 legs down there. You can clearly see them. And you've got a little double top matching highs, and it's close enough to that to be a double top. So the I mean, in trading, if something's looks really close, as close as, I mean, nothing's perfect in trading. So if it looks very close or looks similar, it's probably going to act similar and work, you know. So if it looks like 2 legs down, it probably is. But there's no break of that trend line, and so playing it by, there is a double test of that level, 1 test, 2 test. So I guess you could argue for it to be green, but I didn't mark it. I don't think you want to take that trade. It works out. Notice that we don't get back up there. We're making lower highs every time, so that's concerning. And then it tries to go higher again, and it turns and goes out the other side. Um, I like going short there. I wouldn't go short below that bar because you don't have much room there. You gain a tick or two by going short. When it went higher, you could put a stop right there, and you would have had just enough to get out. But if you wait on this bar, you don't have enough to get out. So that's a concern. And that bar right there is very big. Of course, all of them, we've been having a lot of that lately. So that bar's, that bar's, 4 points basically, almost 5 points. So it is, it's 4 points in a tick basically. So it's a really big bar, but it bounces again there. Again, it's tempting to go long, but we're making lower highs down through here. So, and this one makes a lower high really here as well, and another bearish bar. And this is a second entry short. Notice that's a new low, first entry, pull back second entry. So I like going short there. And then you get a little repeat pattern here, just like over here. I mean, this pattern almost looks just like this pattern. And it broke higher. So when it went lower there, if you got enough room, I'm okay going short there. I think there's just enough once again to get out. It doesn't matter, it pushed on through, but you want to have enough to get out before you get to these lows. So just keep that in mind. Then of course it pushes through. Earlier I had this down here, but as you started getting all this closes and reverses up here, you had to tighten this up. And so this is a little failed break lower. There's a new low, and then there's a first entry short. You really could argue to go long right there. I didn't mark that one. I'll come back and mark it. I'm going to leave it green because it's right into the EMA, and you notice you got a couple little matching highs there of it. But you finally get your failed second entry short over here, and so I like going long there. And you're just looking for it to come back to here. If it goes higher than that, that's great, but you're just looking for it to come back and test this high. And of course, this one takes off. Depending on where your entry was, you may or may not have got a runner on that one. Most likely on my chart you wouldn't have. But look what happens. It pushes on through that resistance. This is actually a new low. So you get a first entry, and then you get a second entry that fails. I didn't like that one, even though it's right off the trend line, because you're kind of working down there, and that's the first close outside. So you're probably going to try to go lower. But look, it tries to go lower once, twice, 3 times, and this bar closes bullish. I like going long right there. And it takes off. And look at that trend line. There's no doubt that trend line's in play. And we overshot it here, and the fact that we can't get through here and it's going higher leads me to believe this is probably 2-tiered, and off it goes. And then look what happens. You're coming down, you get a close outside, and it moves down and makes a new low by 1 tick there. This is like 1 tick lower than that one, and it takes off. Turns down again off the high, moving down. You close outside, new low, so you got another second. So this is a second entry here. It actually, it's not a textbook second entry, but it's still like a second entry. And then this is a textbook second entry. It's not a perfect signal bar, but it's good enough on a trend like this, right off a key entry point, trend line, EMA all working together, a new low after a break coming down. You got everything you need right here. Just go long right there. 1 tick above that bar. Or you could let it break higher and drop a limit order in back where this one was. You may have got left behind if you did that though. And then off it goes. And actually you get a first entry short, second entry short, but when it doesn't break higher and it keeps going sideways, by the time it there's no way to enter it. It doesn't break higher till here, and by that time you've got several bars stacked up. And this would be the only one you might consider going long above, but by that time you're going sideways. But look what happens. You get a little failed break lower right off the trend line, the key entry point. I like going long there again. That's a second entry as well. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry. So it's 2 legs back to the EMA. It's a little sideways, but that little drop lower that probably traps shorts, And look what happens. It's off the key entry point. Look at it take off. Look where this one took off. Key at the trend line. Look where this one took off. That's where look where that one took off. All up and down that trend line. Look where this one took off again. Not as strong. You can see it's starting to, lose some steam here. You're not getting back to the upper side. Um, the moves are not going as far, but they're still the places to go long. And even though this one's really close, you're working down here and you finally get a break, but notice there's pullback first entry, pullback a second entry right off the EMA, relatively small bar. You can't, I'm not going to pass that one up. I'm going to take it on the first break after we've been trending up since 9 o'clock and it's almost 11 for 2 hours. You're going to probably test that high. So, I like that trade regardless. And of course now you get 2 legs back. There's a lower high here, but you don't want to go short there. And now you got 2 legs down. I really almost like going long here because look what's happening. You're coming down, you close outside, you make a new low, and you want to draw that trend line off those 2 swings. I originally had it off the close, but I adjusted it when we went just a little lower over here. But look what happens. So you could argue for that one. I didn't mark it. I don't really like it. But it's worth considering. But when you make this lower high right here, it's more of an inside bar. But here's your true reversal. Notice that new low, first entry, you're moving up, and you make a second entry short right there. Turns back up and is creeping up that trend line. I like going long right there. You're probably going to get another leg up. They probably trapped a lot of shorts right here. And once again, off it goes. It's a little sluggish here, but it just takes on up. So another nice trade where you probably had a runner. And then look what happens. You get a close outside, move to a new high, and you're coming down. You try to go higher once. You get a second leg down, you try to go higher. It actually breaks higher and fails and turns down right at the EMA. That's a nice reversal pattern. That's where you want to go short. Unfortunately, you don't get a runner on that one, but look what happens. You make a new low, first entry short, and then it makes a second leg up. So there's your second entry short right off the key entry point, right off the trend line. Boom, down it goes again, and you're working higher. And this one makes a new high, and this is fairly bullish. So I'd wait on at least a retest, but look what happens. It pushes right through the EMA, pulls back, gives you a lower high, a relatively small bearish bar. I like going short, looking for it to make a new low. And it turns out it comes all the way back down here and confirms this trend line. You might have considered going long there, but I would wait on a higher low, and that doesn't come till over here. And then you're kind of right back into this resistance. I don't have that line on there, but let me show you that line right across there. So I'd be a little leery of going long right there, but you could argue for that trade right there. This is actually should be a little bit tighter there. So you could argue for that trade. I'll mark it green. It was so late in the day that I would have waited on the true reversal, which comes here, and then you're right back into those highs. And so I didn't mark any other ones. The day had been so good that I just didn't see any need to mark any more of them. So you had to be careful going long right there. Notice it gave you a little breakout pullback long. So at this point, but we were coming off the high here, so you're expecting it to come back again. And but it was pretty strong. It just kept going higher. And then we finally get a close outside, move to a new high, and it's been trending down since then. We actually got to the close now. But yeah, this was a textbook kind of day. It started off a little iffy, but once we started this trend up, this was textbook. So it was a really good day. But anyway, we're 25 minutes into it, so I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. I hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow, but I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.